So I'm going to walk through this real quickly. If you are interested in Buddhism, there are some books you could consider picking up. Libraries are not as good as you'd like to think for books. They may have some things, but you're probably just better off getting something you're interested in off of Amazon or another site. So first category here is a general introduction to Buddhism book. These are two that I'd recommend. This one's more visual, so for people who like pictures, there's quite a bit there. And then this other one is kind of at a more college level. Both very good. If you're trying to start looking into the texts of Buddhism, you could start with the Dhammapada. And there is these two translations that I own. There's others, but I think this one's available on Amazon. I'm not too sure about this one, but this one's pocket size, and then this one has stories and translations, so it actually shows the original Pali, the original language. So it's very good. If you want to go a little deeper, you could start getting books that are more about the scriptures, because this is just a small set of them. These are some scriptures with commentary. This is probably the best one I would recommend because it has a lot more to chew through, by the Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi. He is also a monk, as the name implies. He did this commentary on the Brahmajala Sutta as well. And maybe you like that anthology, the In the Buddha's Words, which has a forward by the Dalai Lama, and you want to go a little further, you can get the actual one of the, because there's 5 of these collections. This is the middle length, the discourses, and I'm trying to pick it up with one hand without harming it, and I can't. But it's quite a thick book. It's a chunky book. And it's got quite a bit there. Excuse the writings and marginalia, but there's quite a bit here to go through. Okay. But maybe you're somebody who's more interested in meditation. So that's one where there's no shortage of books. So there's this one I picked up while I was in Thailand or India. I cannot recall where exactly, but it's a nice little kind of a handheld size book. There's these two that you can get on Amazon. I believe this one's also available for free online. Venerable Bhante G, as he calls himself, he is a monk as well. I believe he's up there in age as well. You could also check out this one, which is also by a Buddhist monk who goes by Venerable Analayo. It is both a translation of the Satipatthana Sutta as well as a walking through of that method of meditation that is explained in that sutta. And then there is the Path of Purification, the Vishuddhamagga, which is a very thick book. It is not recommended as your first meditation book. As you can tell, it's not really seen a whole lot of use because I'm not at this level yet. I just picked it up many years ago to eventually have it when I get there. So this one has seen quite a bit of use, as well as the yellow one here. I would say start off with what is accessible. Then there are commentaries by the monks, and actually I'll start with this stack first. So those are commentaries. I'll get those in a second. These are topical books. This one again by the Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi. The Noble Eightfold Path, I think that's a very good topic. There's quite a few books by other monks about this subject. This is a short one. The good thing about this one is it's also available as an audio lecture, so you can find that online on YouTube. This one is, I believe this was actually a nun, Venerable Ayakema, and apologies if you don't use that honorific for female nuns, but I haven't read through this one yet. It's on my to read list. And then there's these two, the Abhidhamma, which is, they call it the philosophical psychology of Buddhism, dependent origination, which is a very complicated topic. And What, Why, How, again by Venerable Bhante G. I actually like this one. It it's like a question and answer style, and I think this is accessible. I actually got to return this to the library, so library system. I will return that shortly. So yes, and then now getting to these. These are mostly written by Venerable Ledi Sayadaw. I believe he was a Burmese monk. I'm not sure if he's Burmese or Cambodian. Burmese. And so he's got a lot of like manuals of insight. He also does a Noble Eightfold Path. So maybe there's some overlap here. Most of these are available cheaply through Amazon. And, it's just very, very topical books. A lot of manuals. He was kind of known for putting together manuals. And what I really enjoy are discourses. So these are discourses by Venerable Sayadaw Jatila, also from Myanmar. I believe I picked this one up when I was in Thailand. And so it's basically, think of like a sermon from a Christian perspective. It's essentially what a lot of these are. I really like to pick up a whole lot more of these. And there's 12, Jack Kornfield edited together this book that puts together 12 such discourses. And this is probably your best entry point because I think that one's available on Amazon. These ones are just harder to come by for those of us in the West. But if you do come by them, they're good. The other good thing is monks often give talks on the internet. And they'll, upload them daily or every other day. They oftentimes do what's called a Dhamma talk. So right here has the phrase Dhamma, it's Dhamma talk or Dhamma discourse. I enjoyed this book. I think I also picked this up in Thailand, where it is basically an explanation of a monk's training, their daily life. It's very short, very short. The back shows the daily schedule. So if you had any interest in what monks do, or if you're interested in becoming a monk, take a look at that wake-up time. Make sure you're ready for that. So, interesting. And then there are the Westerners who have authored some books. And so we have Alan Wallace, who's done a couple. And then I have Stephen Batchelor here as well. I have a couple of others by Alan Watts, who you may have heard of. These are all mostly from the Theravada Buddhist tradition, which is what the Walking for Peace monks are a part of. However, there is the Mahayana and the Vajrayana traditions. So if you're thinking of like the Chinese or Tibetan Buddhism, those are all part of those other traditions. But the Theravada tradition is principally from Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, and Laos. So, and then there's a whole bunch of history involving with all these different traditions. But if you want to read about that, pick one of these two books. They'll explain that part if that's what you're interested in. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hope this helps somebody identify maybe a book that they're interested in picking up.